Coach, the first win in the blue jerseys. Do you know that stat?
No, I didn't know that. I was happy with the way the guys played today. Obviously, Indy's a really, really good team, and we've got them 3 more times here, so there's no rest for the wicked. But, yeah, just all in all, good effort from our group. We had good bench energy, which is really important, especially in this league, and translated or transferred over to the ice, which is always a positive thing.
You and I talked yesterday about guys stepping up here with all the AHL call-ups we've had, with some of the injuries we've had. They had several guys step up, even though they weren't getting points. A lot of guys stepped up. So just what are your impressions of that?
Yeah, I got to start with Dustin Mans. Obviously we were very happy to get his rights. That was a big trade with Rapid, and there was a little bit of a delay on that. But, for him to come in, he gave us some real quality minutes, both 5-on-5 and on the penalty kill. I thought he did a great job. Obviously, Sato, I thought he had a good game. I still think there's another gear to what he does out there, and just figuring out, how to play to his strengths more consistently. Matt's obviously our captain. He's fantastic. And, 2 of our guys that, we kind of signed, on a whim here with Dadanoff and Kosobud. I thought both of them gave us very quality minutes. Dadanoff's a big man. He's a strong man. He skates really well. He can break pucks out. He's got that physical element to him. And Kosobud obviously got the assist on the first goal. Real nice, hard, low shot, which we've noticed already in practice that he does have a very good shot and pretty accurate. So, again, a lot of guys. That's the best part about this league. And you get that next man up mentality, and you get an opportunity, and it's what you do with that opportunity. And that's really what we've been talking about for the last couple of games here.
You outshot Indy 14-4 in the third period. What was implemented in order to basically rule the third period?
Again, I don't know if we ruled the third period. I think the shots are indicative of a team that, kind of took some penalties, and we're trying to enforce their physical dominance there at the end, which, again, I thought our guys did a pretty good job handling that. And when you got a team 4 in a row, obviously teams are going to do that, especially when they get down, by a couple goals like happened tonight. But again, I can't stress this enough. They're a very good team over there. We got a lot of respect for what they do over there at Dunks and Schmogi. They're very good coaches. They're going to look at the film, and tomorrow's going to be a brand new game and a brand new opportunity for our group.
I got one more for you, and I'll give you a stat here. In the first half of the season, 5-on-5, you guys were outscored by a 2-1 margin. Now you're heavily outscoring the opposition 5-on-5 in the second half. What have you noticed as a difference?
Is that just a nice way to say our specialty teams suck? I think that's just, again, I think there's ebbs and flows throughout the year. I don't know exactly that what that would be. What I do know is our power play definitely needs to, click at a higher rate. Obviously, Indy deserves a ton of credit. Their credit of the kill is very good. I know they kind of let up a bunch of goals in the last 3 or 4 games, but before that, they're around 92%. So we've got our work cut out for us for the next three games here for sure. And then, our penalty kill, it's, we're just not connected on it. That's why we brought in Dustin Mans. We thought he could help with that. And then obviously, as we worked Dadanoff in that big sort of left shot, long, lanky D that helps Murray out on that left side, that could help us as well going forward here. But obviously, our specialty teams are something that in that period, we've obviously talked about a lot. And it's one of those things, as you talk about it more, it seems to get worse. So maybe we're better off just not talking about it.
Coach, with the standings the way they are, does this 4-game set with Indy, is this about as close to must-win as it gets in February?
I mean, not for me. I'm not a big standings guy. It's not really. I think it's wasted energy when you start looking at that, and then you start looking at they play them and they play them, and I mean, at the end of the day, what we're really focused on, and really it hasn't changed since game 1 or even training camp day 1. We're focused. We're trying to be meticulous about finding ways for us to be better at our game and getting our guys on the same page and understanding what makes us successful and what sets us up for potential failure. And as long as we continue to do that day in and day out, minute in and minute out, hour in and hour out, that's really all you can do. I don't know anything more that you can do as a coach or a player as opposed, besides doing your best every single day and every single moment of every day. The standings are what the standings are, and I really don't pay too much attention to those things.
You've over the course of this season, you've had to remake those forward lines multiple times. Yeah. This week, it felt like it was the defensive pairings turn. You touched on this a little bit already. How do you feel like those pairings did this evening? And I guess they've been about 2 games together now.
Yeah, we flew Kosobud in from Europe, so he arrived I think on Wednesday. Obviously jet lag and time change and new league and a bunch of things. So we obviously wanted to get allow him to get his feet under him, and so we wanted to wait on him for a little bit. And then Dadanoff, I got a really good relationship. With the head coach and the assistant coach in Peoria, and they talked really highly about Dadanoff, and so you get an opportunity to bring in those types of guys, and then it's like I alluded to earlier. You get an opportunity in this league. You don't know how many you're going to get, and you want to make the most of it. And I think those two guys, especially Dadanoff over the last 2 games, and then Kosobud today, they made real good impressions on us. We'll watch the film, and we'll try and find ways for them to be better and be more stuck in on our systems. And the other guys as well. Like I have to mention Thomas Stewart. Obviously, he was sidelined there for a little bit, and then as guys get called up to the American League, like you said, he gets an opportunity. I didn't love his last game in Iowa, but again, he hadn't played in a couple of weeks, and so I thought he had a real strong showing tonight. It was more like himself. Obviously, I know Thomas Stewart. I had him in Barrie for a year, so I'm very familiar with his game, and I thought today he's just that steady, solid defenseman. Who can manage pucks, manage the game, and is not a defensive liability out there. And if you can do that in this league day in and day out, you're going to carve out a real important role for yourself within our team and with any team within the league.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, between the last few games and tonight, really, what did you feel the difference was on the ice?
I mean, it's a little bit of an oversimplification, but we outscored our opponents finally, so that's a good one. But again, we had good bench energy, and it's something that we had on our southern road trip, which was very noticeable. And I tried to encourage the guys that those things are really important, especially like when you get through, in the dog days of the season. We're in that kind of February, malaise or whatever. It happens. You hear about it in baseball more often, but it happens in hockey as well. I think that bench energy transfers over to the ice. And if you have that energy, then you're communicating. And what I shared with the guys today before the game is don't be a spectator in your own sport. Like when you're on the ice, be a difference maker. Take authority or take control over your situation on the ice and take ownership over it. And I thought our guys did a good job of that today. And again, like I said, we'll enjoy it for about 2 minutes here, and then we got to start preparing for tomorrow.